The Kirby soundtrack is full of bangers. I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh, fuck. I don't have any paints. Shit. It's literally the one thing I needed. There is a combined total of 2 things that I need to start this. And that's paint, brushes, and water. And I swear to God, I had one of them. Now, where the fuck do I put this? Listen, it's Friday. I cannot stress to you enough how much of a mess my shit is right now. My desk is not set up for streaming, or painting, for that matter. I literally press the go live button and figure it out on the fly. Like, oh god, where do I put this shit? My desk is just a mess of models that I haven't painted, models that I've half painted, and like, what the fuck is even this supposed to be? Oh, it's glue. Never mind. That's kind of important. Howdy! Hello! What's poppin'? It's Friday, everyone. How's it going? I love the Kirby soundtrack. I love the Kirby soundtrack, too. It's underrated. Why do I have Agrex Earthshade? I don't need that. Get that out of here. Alright. It's Friday. I'm tired. I'm tired as well. Twitch.tv user SpaceWolvesFan13636. I am very tired. But you know what? That just means I'm ready to have a chill time, to paint some guys, and jack up my endocrine system with Dr. Pepper. Delightful. Okay, now is this camera setup gonna work? Are you coming in? You coming in live? You coming in hot? Hell yeah. So, I'm gonna knock everything off my desk, that's fine. I'm gonna be continuing my progress, painting this fun little Weirdboy that I started last week. Jesus. I swear to God, it feels like it's been a combined total of 3 business days since I last painted this guy. But no, it's been a full week, and that just shows you that time is flying, and I don't like that. Everything needs to slow down, quite frankly, and I need it all to stop. But fuck it, we ball. Okay, what do I need? I need my trusty pot of Death Guard Green, which I'm going to put there. I'm going to need Raykarth Flesh, and the one other paint that I did. God damn it! Okay, now it doesn't matter. I've got what I need. I'm not getting up from this chair again. Not for any reason. I'm good. They're just wondering, what do you do if you have a lack of motivation to paint? Whenever I have a lack of motivation to paint, Twitch.tv user, the Dano Custodian, when I have a lack of motivation to paint, I try as best as I can to force myself to do the dang thing. Because for me, I always find, like, the biggest hurdle I have in just about anything, really. Like, whether it's painting, gaming, I should probably choose some examples that actually matter in the grand scheme of the universe, but when I feel unmotivated, I literally just try my best to sit myself down and to just get started on doing the thing. Like, I'll take a guy like this, I'll take this boy right here, and I'll think to myself, okay, what's the smallest thing that I can do in order to, like, get myself into the next level that I need to be? Like, I'll choose, like, the biggest block of unpainted mini and go, what is the thing that I can immediately start on? And for me, I'm actually kind of feeling that right now, so I'm actually going to get started painting the rock base that is beneath him, just so I can ease into something, if that makes sense. God, there's so many fucking cords on my desk, this is a nightmare. Let's move that light up there a little bit. There we go. Good grief. We doing a war? We are doing a war. Twitch.tv user Snick. I'm gonna try my best. I wanted to see if I could get like a heroic miniature like this painted entirely on like a recorded environment. Like I wanted to see if I could get this guy painted entirely like on, not on like a single stream, but just all on a stream so I could like supercut it together. But then I realized my streaming setup changes literally every time I stream, so even if I did like edit all of this footage together, it would just be an incomprehensible mess. But you know what? I am an incomprehensible mess, so it's kind of fitting in a weird way. I need to finish painting my... I need to finish painting my Elder I started a few weeks ago. Yeah, I am the biggest... I do that all the time. Like, I'll start painting something, and then I'll just, like, abandon it for weeks. You don't want to see my shelf of shame that's sitting just to the left of me. I keep it there, so I can, like, remind myself at all times that there's always something that I should be doing. And I simply refuse to act upon it. So... I think for me, when it comes to, like, motivation to do hobbies and stuff like that, I think, you know, I am definitely, like, very guilty of getting in my own head about stuff. And so I try as best as I can to, like, remind myself that in the grand scheme of things, it's not that serious, you know what I mean? Like, I know we like to try to... Like, I know we take our hobbies seriously because we're passionate about them, and we really enjoy them, and, like, I don't know, they bring us some level of creative fulfillment, or some shit like that, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I like to tell myself that, like, listen, my job stresses me out, because it's my fucking job. That's what it's supposed to be. This is the fun stuff. This is the cool, fun things I do when I'm not trying to work for a living or get money. He said, actively monetizing his hobbies by live streaming on the internet.com, but that's entirely besides the point. I'm doing this to be a clown, not to commodify my hobbies. I will say, though, streaming does allow me to essentially lock in, as the Generation Zs tend to say. Because that's difficult for me. I am a compulsive scroller. Like, it's actually getting to be kind of a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my attention span has absolutely McFried itself over the last couple of years, and I feel like that reflects poorly upon me as a person. And I don't like to psychoanalyze that. You know how phones have those, like... You know how phones have that, like, analytics on the inside of them? You can open it up and, like, scan your screen time and see how many real human hours you have spent using particular applications. I simply refuse to look at that. I am deathly afraid that if I stare into that abyss, it will not be nice to me. And the worst part is, for me, I feel like if I check my screen time on my phone, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Like, I was like, oh, you know, maybe you spent maybe like an hour on TikTok or something like that, or maybe like 2, just like mindlessly scrolling, you know, on breaks or things like that. But the problem is, I will like give myself breaks from scrolling on an app by scrolling a different app. I will get tired of TikTok and then move over to Instagram Reels, and then I'll get tired of that, and then I'll start scrolling Blue Sky, and then I'll get tired of that, and then I'll go back to TikTok again. So like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm breaking it up. I'm breaking the cycle. I'm like doing different things, and it's all just the same fucking flavor of the same neurosis. Every now and again, I like to delete all social media from my phone, and that is something that I think more people should do. I kinda can't, because eventually I get to a point where I'm like, oh, this is like what I do. I need to post a video or people will like forget that I exist and my relevancy will decline and it will be as though I never existed at all. But like for normal people, if you don't gotta be on there, just try getting away for a bit. Shit kinda rocks. Been reading and exercising futility. It's good. Jiroa_carnival. Who told you about the ancient magics? The craziest thing to me about being somebody who exists on the internet is that sometimes people will like reference things that I've done or things that I've said, and it will fill me with abject terror. Because like I do like internet stuff and I post and I stream and I do all that. Like, it doesn't even feel real to me anymore. Like, if I have a joke, I will, like, shoot that out into the ether, and then I'll just be like, oh, that's just... It'll be like it never happened. And then someone will, like, accost me on the street and go, like, hey, I liked that funny thing that you posted, and my gut reaction is like, who the fuck told you about that? How do you know this? Completely forgetting that I posted on the internet for all to see, like... Oh, boy. And, like, seriously, it freaks me out. Like, I've met people at cons and stuff who are like, you're that guy! So when people come up to me and, like... The craziest thing to me will always be when people have, like, approached me at, like, conventions and stuff and reference me by name. Like, they will call me by my name and be like, you're Ethan! And immediately it triggers my fight or flight response, because I'm like, who the fuck told you that? You're not supposed to know that. Stranger danger. Or suplex them into an artist alley table of fucking Street Fighter pinups and they all go flying everywhere. That's stupid. I just finished my Weirdboy. I used a light green metallic that made him shiny. Hell yes! I actually kind of have that, I bought a while ago, like, a metallic green paint from the Army Painter. I think it's their, like, glittering green emerald type thing. And I bought it because I was like, oh, you know, my orcs are green. It'd be good to have, like, a glittering green paint just on hand so I can, like, you know, use that for something. Never once used it. I think I used it for, like, one detail on the orcs. And then I just never touched it again. In fact, it's really cool though. Hold on, let me actually grab it for a second. Where is it? There it is. Like, it's got this really nice, like, metallic effect that I really like, and I really want to use it on a project. So, like, it's really, like, I just need to find the right thing for it. Because, like, I don't tend to use metallics that often, but, like, you look at this and tell me how cool that looks. I now realize there may have been a core fundamental issue with my plan just now. Hey guys, check out this green paint that I found. Don't you love how green this is? Don't you love how green this is? It's so cool and green. I'm... Fucking hell. Sometimes I think I should think more before I do things. Wait, hold on. I fucked up. That's better. Well, you can't really see how, like, metallic it is because the light makes it all... I'm just not having a good day, am I? Oh, fuck me. I won't get up from my chair again, light as easily as breathing. Listen! I don't want to get up, if I can help it. Then you'll see that, like, anything below my lower half is just, like, fucking lounge pants. This is my favorite part about streaming. Stomach up, gorge. Feet down, Simpsons pajama pants. Does your orc disappear on the green screen? He actually kind of does. Look at that. It's scary as hell. It especially helps that, like, this is a... Like, this is just, like, the raw base coat of the green, so, like, it, I use green shade paint. Like, at any step, he'd be incredibly green. Like, the fuck? Like, is my war boss gonna... Look at my war boss here. Is he gonna... Yeah, he gets cut out even more. Look at that. Wow. It's also just my excuse to show off my war boss to the degree that I can because he's fucking green. But, like, I just put on my layer of, like, shade paints. So you can appreciate how the shade paint has been applied on everything except for his skin. So... I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. Frankly, I can work with this fashion dynamic. It's so much easier when I don't have to worry about my lower half. And it's so much more comfortable, too! Gross. The Weirdboy is going purple. No! He's gonna stay green. What brand of paint do you prefer? Do you use anything and everything? Well, Twisted TV user the Dino Custodian. I do use anything and everything. Historically, I've mostly used Citadel and Army Painter, because they're like the paints that are most readily available at my local paint shops. But I have been branching out more. There's this hobby shop near where I live, which I will not mention by name because that's Cyber Safety 101. But, like, there's this one hobby shop that I found very recently that's, like, a real-ass hobby shop. So, like, it's got all the brands that I've never heard of. Like, they got Vallejo, Kaleido, Muchacho, like, they've got brands of paint. There's this one brand of paint that they have, which, like, I don't know what it's called, but they're all just, like, clear bottles, but they have a picture of, like, a skull on the front, and the entire brand looks like it was made on a budget of, like, $20. But that tells me that it's probably the greatest acrylic paint ever conceived by the hands of mankind. You know what I mean? Like, it's that level of, like, basic and shitty, and all of their signage has just clearly been, like, printed out from a home office printer. And something about that tells me it's the greatest paint of all time. But to your question, I mostly stick with Citadel and Army Painter, just because they're what I have. But I am branching out, and I am experimenting with more things. I've recently switched to Vallejo airbrush primer, because I was gifted an airbrush from Gallery, the airbrush company brand, I guess. And so I'm trying airbrushing for the first time, and I have fallen in love with Vallejo airbrush primer. Like, do I have a... Like, I got this mini that I just primed. I started painting a little bit on this guy, but, like, I don't know if it's really gonna, like, show up on, like, the camera or anything like that. It's definitely not, 'cause it's gonna be out of focus. But, like... The camera quality doesn't really do it justice. This is some of the, like, best priming I've ever had on any mini that I've ever done. And so, like, I think I'm now going to start exclusively priming my minis with an airbrush and Vallejo matte black, like, miniature primer. Because, like, fucking... Look at that! It's so smooth! The camera's absolutely not doing it justice. I could eat this thing. Hey, YouTube user Orpheus3357, thank you for the thank you for the super chat. Woke hammer, strong arm emoji, strong arm emoji, strong arm emoji. I'm gonna take that in the good faith I assume it was intended. And if it is an attempt to be very mean to me in some roundabout way, I'm gonna keep your $2. No, you seem chill. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. The fit is impeccable? Thank you. It's a classic. I realized, like, I got very self-conscious about my fashions for a while because, like, I don't buy much stuff. Like, I kind of have the same, like, staple outfits and pieces that I just, like, usually wear over every outfit. And, like, I think one person once left me, like, a passive-aggressive comment saying that, like, don't you wear anything else? Which, of course, is all it takes me to send me into a downward, like, depressive spiral. I'm only human. But I sort of, like, got a little bit self-conscious for a while, because, like, I don't have, like, you know, a whole bunch of different things that I can, like, you know, customize and, like, dress up with. But then I was sort of like, I don't need a billion things. Like, if I have one shirt that I like, that's fine. I don't need 10 billion shirts. You know what I mean? And also, I don't want to buy 10 billion shirts just to wear in, like, fucking one TikTok. That just seems wasteful. Like, if I find something new that I like, I'm gonna get it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to go like, ooh, new outfit haul. Fast fashion sucks. I 100% agree. Pro wokeness. Alright, hell yeah. Glad we got that confirmation. Yeah, fast fashion does suck. Like, I really try to, like, be mindful and to, like, thrift, as much as possible. Like, when I got started doing alternative fashion stuff, like, I did end up buying from some, like, cheap AliExpress kind of places. Which is something that I probably, like, wouldn't do again, you know? Because it's just like, well, you know, that's probably not great. Because it isn't. But, you know, people are allowed to be young and stupid and make mistakes and such, etc., etc. But also, the thing for me was that, like, well, I could buy this, like, jumpsuit from, like, a cheap, fast, like, Chinese place, or I could buy it from an actual brand, which it turns out they're just buying from the cheap, fast Chinese place anyway, so... I'm anti-woke, I hate getting out of bed, I just want to sleep. God, so true. Why's my phone keep buzzing? That's a concern. Is someone calling me? I'm using my phone as, like, I'm using my phone as a webcam to, like, webcam me. I think someone's trying to call me on the telephone. Well, I clearly missed that call. Oops. I just wear clothes until I fall off my body with holes. Honestly, same. Like, this thing didn't originally have shoulder holes. I fucking owned that. I buy expensive clothes that last long because I hate shopping. That is also very true. I am trying to do that more because I am, like, I am very averse to spending money. Like, I will save every penny that I have in any given circumstance, which is kind of a problem, because sometimes I need to buy things. But even that is a problem in and of itself, because when I need to buy things, I'm like, well, I gotta spend $100 on this jacket because winter's coming, or something like that. But then when I spend that $100, the floodgates open, baby. I'm like, well, I've spent $100. What difference is it to make 150? 170? 394? That's an Armageddon box right there. I got back into sewing because I was tired of not finding clothes that fit properly, and even brands adopting fast fashion practices now, so you're paying premium crap for quality and sizing. Blah, 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 blah. So true. I mean, it really sucks that, like, even big brand clothes, like, everything's just gotten so much cheaper and worse. Why is everything getting cheaper and worse? I only buy clothes that make me happy. Me too. YouTube user Nox Vandenberg. Clearly. I'm always curious about how people land their paint schemes. I'm basing mine around album art and niche micro-genre that I like. That's awesome. I base my, orc color scheme... I'm just reaching off camera. I base my orc color scheme roughly off of the orcs from... Oh, don't look at his eyes, I kind of fucked up. I base my orcs color scheme on the orcs from Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, like the first video game, because they all had, like, brown leather and... I mean, mostly brown leather, like, that's just kind of the end of that sentence, but... yeah, they all wore, like, scrappy brown leather and things like that, and that was my first introduction to Warhammer 40,000, so I based my color scheme on that kind of mystique, right? But then, as time went on, and I started painting more, I was like, well, I need a bit of an accent color to make it pop, right? So I kind of elevated the brown leathers with, like, yellow, right? Like, yellow really became my accent color for... There's the Dr. Pepper. I based my accent color on, like, the color yellow. I didn't base it on it, I just used it. I'm not allowed to talk, it's Friday. So yeah, that's the deep lore. I play a video game and I like it. And I make stuff based on the video game. I wish society would let us wear weirder cultural clothes. I mean, like, yeah, I am of the same mind. Like, let people be people. Let people be weird. I mean, I say that, but I also just rock like a fucking jeans and a t-shirt anytime I leave the house. So I'm not... Oh, this thing is really... I don't know if I can, like, show this off, but, like, this is straight up, like... This is dried out as shit. Oh, look at that. Ugh. Like the inside of a sludge pit. Gross. I think I might actually need some, like, water or paint thinner in this. Nurgle rot. Gross. Ow. I jingled it too hard. If there was a Warhammer Orc game where you tried to become a war boss and have rivals in the Nemesis. Listen. Orc video games are great. Shooter's Blood and Teeth was a fun time. Speed Freaks is also a fun time. Everyone should play that. Which I say mostly because nobody does. Every time I post a video about Warhammer 40,000 Speed Freaks, and someone says, oh, I bought this game because of you, I feel like I'm amassing members of a cult. Because I am, like, the only person who is, like, telling people to play this game. And it's very clear that the developers of the game, like, very much, like, put a lot of love and passion into it. Anyway, if there are no Speed Freaks fans left on the internet, it means I am dead. Recently got some sculptor mold for ground texture and I'm excited to try it out. Hell yes. What do I use? I think I use, like, scale 75 or scale 35. I use a weird, like, basing cement for my bases that's like, I think the company that makes it is more used to making, like, what do you call it? Like, it's like, the company that makes it makes material for, like, you know those, like, war reenactment, like, miniatures? Like, I don't think they're even a game. I think there's an entire, like, cultural subset of people who are just like, this is the Battle of Normandy, and I painted a whole bunch of little war guys. Like, that's the company that I use for my, like, ground terrain, for my orcs. Because you could buy, like, a whole bucket of it for, like, 15 bucks. A Citadel pot, like, this big of Armageddon dunes is, like, $9. Fuck that. It's criminal that the only Adeptus Sororitas game is a gosh darn VR game. Bolt Gun 2. Just gonna leave that there. Well, I mean, Bolt Gun 2 is also, like, it's a Space Marine and a Battle Sister as the primary protagonist, to my understanding. Yeah, I really need to... Hold on, I need some paint activator to thin this thing out in. Don't look at my butt, I'm getting up. Where are you? Where are you? I keep all my paints off camera so I don't get tempted to drink them. Ugh. There we go. Come on! Hell yeah, finally catching Ethan live. Let's go! I'm doing it more often now, so it's gonna get easier and easier. There's a VR Warhammer game? Yes, there is. It's an Adeptus Sororitas game, and I hear it has good reviews for VR games. Although then again, like, every VR game has good reviews because VR gamers only have, like, 10 games to play, and so they can't really say that they suck, because if they do, then that's just, like, 10% of their entire gaming inventory catalog that they just can't use. Refocus. I don't know why I'm being so mean to VR gamers right now. It's probably because I have beef with Beat Saber. Yeah, I can't wait for it. Finally, the girls get to be more than chumps for the Space Marines. Hell yes. I mean, I really do, like... Words. It's true, the Battle Sisters got to be in more stuff. I've been reading one of the, Battle Sisters, like, books. I say I've recently been reading it, but I don't think I've picked it up in, like, 2 months. Which is mostly just me not reading. That's mostly a me problem. But it's pretty good. I feel like the Battle Sisters get a lot of, attention in the, like, Warhammer Plus animations that they do, which, yeah, true, you can say that nobody watches those except for out-of-context clips on TikTok and Instagram, but that still counts. And they have some great characterization in those animations. I've just accepted that my favorite faction, Sisters of Silence, will never get more than 2 buttons and a shout-out from Games Workshop. Yeah. I mean, my understanding is that the Sisters of Silence is just like a custodian thing, right? I don't know. If it's not Wazdaka Gutsmech, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm a Chaos Boyo myself, but the orcs are nice. Hell yes. I do want to get back into painting Chaos. Like, I'm gonna keep that centered. Like, I bought a Chaos Combat Patrol as, like, a treat for myself at the start of the year. And I painted a good chunk of it. Like, I painted a bunch of the Legionnaires. And all of the Chaos Cultists. I'm very happy with the Chaos Cultists that I painted. Because I haven't really painted, like, regular-sized humans before. And so painting the Chaos Cultists was a good experiment to try to, like, do that. And I had a lot of fun with them. In fact, do I have any of them around? I love that all of my shit is just in reach. This is a lie. I do need to, like, jump up for that a little bit, though. There we go. There's one of my Chaos Cultists. Look at that! That's just like a person. That's just like... Look at her. Look at her go! Love that. I always forget how small just regular people are in this game. Alright. And see, that shows you that my paint jobs can actually, like, look half decent when they're, like, done. Okay? I'm basing right now. I'm taking it chill. I would buy a whole army of Sisters of Silence if they had more than one kit. Yeah, there's a lot of people who say things like that, to my understanding. I played the Bolt Gun 2 demo both ways. It's definitely looking promising, but I think the sister will be the harder of the two due to weapon strength. Yeah, that's always been the weird thing to me. Like, I feel like, at least from the trailer that I saw, or like, kind of half-watched on TikTok, I'm not gonna lie there, it seemed to me that, like, you know, one of the characters was, like, faster and, like, more agile, and one of the characters was more, like, beefy and tanky. And I was like, hey, this looks fucking awesome, From what I remember of Bolt Gun 1, I don't think I can go any faster than that. I don't think I can go any faster than Manius Kato or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Trust the process. That's right. The Sisters of Silence get 3 whole models and 1.5 detachments per time, despite being a completely independent organization from the Custodians. Yeah, maybe they can be... Maybe they should be wrapped into the Imperial Agents then, I don't know. I like the Imperial Agents, and one day feel like I would be crazy enough to make a whole Imperial Agents army, but... That just basically means you have, like, 7,000 space cops and, like, 1 rogue trader. I want to start a Chaos Marines army at some point, but not because of the actual Marines, but because of Vashdor and the Demon Engines. Hell yes! It looks so spooky. I feel like... Because I still don't really know where I want to go with my Chaos Army. Like, I feel like it's going to be very, like, Marine-led, if that makes sense. Because... I mean, every Chaos Space Marine, like, jumbo box that you get always comes with at least 10 Legionnaires. So, I feel like just through my process of, like, buying bulk boxes, because that's the easiest way to save money in this goddamn expensive hobby, I'm just gonna end up having, like, 20 billion Chaos Marine Legionnaires. Now, I told myself I wanted to paint this guy's base because that was, like, very important and needed to be done, but I now realize that I've spent, like, 90% of this time painting something that you can't even fucking see. Because his whole body covers, like, the entirety of the base beneath him. Oops. Sisters of Silence versus Chaos Cultist Psychers Kill Team win. That would be sick as hell. I don't think you could really have any Custodian units in a kill team, though. Like, that would be a little bit busted. I think the gameplay of Bolt Gun 2 is more focused around the Feral Marine in terms of level design, too. God. It always sucks when a game gives you, like, multiple ways to play, but it's very much like... There's a correct answer here. Dark Mechanicum army win. Never, because I'm not insane. Contrary to popular belief. Custodian kill team, just one guy with a gun. God. It would be, too! Okay, how can I progress this? See, I realize a lot of the painting that I'm going to have to do with this guy is going to be borderline invisible on camera. Because, like... Like, that brown that I painted last time on stream, like, even with the better camera, slightly better camera that I have now, like, you can barely tell that his, like, collar's been painted with a Rhinox hide brown. You know what I mean? But it has to be done. It simply must be. And I don't have the paint with me. Fuck. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna BRB for, like, 1 second to grab the paint that I need, because I... I'm a mess of a man, and I am not prepared for anything. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I don't know why I did that. I just put my empty can of Dr. Pepper on top of my tower computer, and I feel like it's gonna stay there forever. And that in turn is going to result in me just like leaving a bunch of cans of Dr. Pepper on top of my computer, and it's going to become a gross monument to just my inability to clean things. Well. The sisters are wearing some of the craziest power armor known to the Imperium that can keep up with the Custodians. I mean, my favorite thing about this about the Battle Sisters is that they have the same base stats as the Space Marines in the game of Warhammer 40,000, and they don't have Gene C Astartes like shit coursing through their veins, right? Like, they're just spurned by the power of Catholic guilt, and I think that's radical for them. I do that. Okay, Rhinox hide. Things I'm gonna paint dark brown. Focus. Things I'm gonna paint dark brown. I need to paint his collar, and I think I'm gonna paint his, like, Ripper chain X too. That's just the power of estrogen. God bless him. God bless the Sisters of Battle. I think I will end up painting, like, at least one Sisters of Battle unit at some point, because they just look fun to paint. I think the Battle Sisters are probably, like, the human army that I say human in terms of, like, scale and size, right? Like, the standard human-size army that I think appeals to me most. Like, the Guard seem fun, but, like, I can't paint the same, like, regular-size guy again and again and again. I like your little art thumbnail. Thank you! YouTube user Jeebus. I wish Twitch, like, had an option for, like, you know, thumbnails and things like that as well. Because, like, YouTube, like, requires you to put thumbnails on things, so I have to spend, like, a long time painting custom thumbnails. Or I just slap one together seconds before I stream, and that tends to work, too. Not as good, though, but... I mean, I just want more excuses to draw more. I set myself a challenge to be more creative this year, and I feel like, for the most part, I've done it. Like, I've made more videos, I'm slowly getting back into the habit of, like, hand-drawing my, like, YouTube thumbnails for videos that I do as well. And I want to slowly get back into the habit of being more creative like that. It's a big thing for me. I want to do that. You will paint John Soldier number 3 million and you will like it? No, I will never paint the Guard. Goes back to painting 700 Orc boys. Yeah, nah. I do like the Orc boys, though. Like, I like painting Orcs because, like, the amount of, like, plastic you get for your dollar is, like, the highest ratio. Because Orcs are just big, right? And that was really what drew me to them in the first place. It was like, ooh, for like 50 bucks, I can get 10 of the biggest guys in the game. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. 10 Space Marines for like 80 bucks. Tis truly the power of E. I found I've started being able to lift tanks. God bless him. You look fabulous. Thank you. YouTube user Ragnarah. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. It's good to see. God, I realized that, like, half of the shit that I have to paint on this model is, like, completely obscured by this guy's own fucking arms. Which is entirely my fault for gluing additional arms onto him. Like, I Like, I want to paint, like, the inside of this chain axe. Or chainsword, rather. And it's like... It's just being covered by his body, like, anywhere in the camera. The camera, which I will tell you, is being held up by, like... It's literally sitting on a box that I found. Like, I don't have a tripod or anything like that. It's literally dangling off the side of it, pointing down at my desk. My current terrible kill team conversion is a Harlequin troop of loon gits. Ooh! I fully credit your model backstories for Catalyst. Hell yes! I love making people do things that they wouldn't have ordinarily done without my intervention. It makes me feel like I have agency in the world. I'm influencing people. I'm an influencer. I feel influential. I mean, my favorite kind of comment that I do get sometimes is that, like, listen, some people say that, like, some people say that, like, oh, you made me get into the orcs, or, like, you made me interested in the orcs because I liked your funny little paint jobs, and I like that. I really do. But to me, the thing that I like the most is sometimes I'll get comments where people say that, like, you know, I made, you know, the mini painting hobby seem, like, less intimidating or, like, less gatekeepy sort of thing. And those are comments that I very much, like, I don't know, I really appreciate those kinds of comments because, like, it, you know, Warhammer can feel like a pretty exclusionary place sometimes if you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was still very new to the hobby, like, I got into it painting Ultramarines, and people gave me a lot of guff for that. And, like, now I understand that, you know, the guff that Ultramarines get is, like, is a catalyst of them being, like, you know, the poster boys and, like, visually everywhere, and, like, nobody fucking can get away from them, and people are sick of that. And, like, that's fine. I get that. When you hang shit on someone for, like, following the official painting tutorials that teaches them how to paint the blue ones, you know, with the starter set kit that they buy that comes with blue paint, and then you go, you painted the fucking blue guys, kill yourself. Like, that's, shut up. We need to support people who are getting into this fucking ludicrously expensive hobby. And so when people say that, like, you know, you made it seem less intimidating, or made it seem like, you know, there could be a place for me here, like, that's awesome. Those are the comments that I very much appreciate. Because, like, it's just fun as hell, and that's the thing for me, you know? Like, I enjoy having fun, and this thing is fun. And I don't know, like, how people, like, do this, or, like, get... Like, I don't even know how people get gatekeepy. When I enjoy something, and I have fun doing it, all I want is for more people to do it. Like, oh, you're painting a model for the first time, and, like, you've never done it before? That's awesome! Let me talk to you at length about all the funny little guys that I painted over the last 4 years. Like, when more people get into stuff that I like, I have more people to talk to the things that I like about. Like, why wouldn't anyone not want that? People are crazy, man. I swear to shit. Have you ever painted a Stomper or a Killer Can? I have not. Stompers are like $300, and I am not made of money. I always told myself that, like, if someone ever, like, donated fucking... If someone ever was, like... Listen, if someone on the internet gave me $300, I would build and paint a Stomper. No questions asked. My money? I got, like, taxes and shit, man. There was a bit... You both made mini painting less intimidating and dressing the way I do less intimidating? Hell yes! We love to hear that, YouTube user Nox Vandenberg. I'm so happy. I'm just out here vibing. Everyone else should be vibing. I don't know, man. I don't know. For anyone starting or wanting more models, check out if there's Combat Patrol magazines in your area. I heard about the Combat Patrol magazines, and I don't think I can get them where I live, which is redacted. But like, that was such a shame, because like that'd be pretty cool just for like, you know, £20 a month or whatever to get like a cool model in your mailbox every month. That'd be sick as hell. Because that's the thing for me, right? Like, I just love model painting, you know? Like, I do like Warhammer, and I do like the game, and I like having my own personal, like, orc army and everything like that, but I also just love painting models. So, like, I would love just, like, random shit to paint, you know what I mean? Even if it's, like, Eldar, or, like, Necrons, I guess? God, why did it take me so long to think of an example? But you know what I mean? I'll paint anything. You live in Boston, right? I can tell from the accent. I've never been to Boston in my entire fucking life. Eh? That accent didn't go where I was thinking it was gonna go. Careful, this is how you get someone to donate $300. Oh no! What a tragedy that would be. I'm gonna go on a US vacation where I can get stuff cheaper. Is US really cheaper? I thought the US was expensive as shit. But I just assumed that about, like, literally anywhere, to be honest. I assume everything in North America is expensive as shit, because you know what they fucking do? You know what they fucking do? And this pisses me off. I'm sorry, North America. You're gonna get it from me right now. But I cannot stand when I take an item up to the counter and I go to make a purchase and I look at the price that's listed on the physical item that I am intending to buy and it says $25. Great. Awesome. I love that. I love knowing how much a thing is going to be before I go up and buy it. And then I go up and they scan it and they go, yeah, that'll be like $32. Because of the tax. In Australia, we include that shit on our price. So you take an item up to the counter, you know exactly how much you're paying. And I'm sorry, that's the right way to do it. North America is a failed experiment. I know a guy who was complaining about the Stomper instructions being low-res photos printed in 1995. Hey, that's awesome, though. You get instructions for your model kit, and it's just like the wordless IKEA instructions with, like, illustrations. That'd be very funny. I give you, like, a really complicated set of sprues and go like, hey, just build this. That'd be a fun challenge. Like, what if I like bought a bunch of kits and like mixed up the sprues and like tried to challenge myself to build and paint something using those mixed up sprues? That'd be pretty fun. That's a cool idea. I'm not gonna do it though because I'm lazy as shit. $25 to $32 with tax. Did you go to Quebec? Oh, good grief. Listen, I'm not Canadian enough to be able to, like, play along with Quebec slander. Like, I feel like that's the domain of, like, true Canadians, you know what I mean? Like, I can't say shit about Quebecois because I simply don't know. Listen, if someone who was born Canadian and lives in Canada and has been Canadian for their entire life makes fun of people from Quebec, that's fine. That's charming, even. If I do it, it's just straight racist. And I don't know how to explain that, but it just is. And I feel like that makes sense, so that's my truth. Now, normally the brown leather that I use for, like, belts and stuff like this is usually, I think it's usually the lighter Mornfang brown. But I'm just gonna paint it Rhinox hide and fucking whatever, the Life isn't real, who cares? Why is all of the, like, Kirby songs from the Super Smash Bros. Soundtrack, like, fucking orchestral bangers? They really got the fucking London Symphony Orchestra out to jam for this pink fuckball. I'm from Montreal, it's okay, I can take it. Worse! No. He's got all this weird, like, metal stuff on the end of his cloak, so I'm just gonna paint Schlenk that up. Do I actually want to paint these little, like, end bits metal? Because right now I'm going for more, like, a coppery brown, which doesn't even show up on the fucking camera, so, like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, dog. Delightful. Yeah. I was looking at Skaven lore and now I want rats. Listen. I am so happy for all of the rat people who, you know, have lots of rats and Skaven to paint now. I really, like, I'm so happy for people who are interested in the rats. I painted 2 of them that were, like, the free miniatures of the month that Warhammer stores give out, and never again. I simply cannot do it. I simply cannot bring myself to paint another rat for as long as I live. They're just too small and too fiddly. And listen, I'm not a small fiddly guy. I don't know what it is. Like, I tried painting the rats, and I was like, this was fun twice. I think it was because the rats don't really have a lot of customization, if that makes sense. Like, I like kit bashing and customizing my models, but it really, like, I put together the 2 Skaven miniatures that I got as the free, like, models of the month or whatever, and they're literally just, like, 2 pieces. It's, like, one half rat, other half rat. Put, like, a shield on there or something. Like, that's it. That's all it is. Your work table looks shockingly clean. This is my work desk that I use for my big boy business job. So there is literally, like, there's a laptop here. Like, 9 hours of the day. That's not actually that long. But literally through the entire day, like, this bullshit is covered. So, like, I could not even spill anything on here if I tried. I've only started painting here since I've started streaming. So give me, like, a week, and this will be a fucking disaster. And, quite frankly, there's literally, like, a square on my desk, like this big, that is, like, clean. Everything else, shit everywhere. I got a Soul Blight Gravelord Spearhead and fell in love with the Bloodsuckers and Skeletons. Hell yes. And see, that's interesting to me, because I also painted a Soul Blight Gravelord, like, Skeleton Man, as one of the free models of the month that I got, and I could see myself painting the skeletons, but I couldn't see myself painting the rats, even though the problem I have with the rats is the same problem that I have with the skeletons. Does that make me insane? Does that make me sick and twisted in the head? Like, I don't even know, man. Like, the fuck? I gotta actually make sure you can see what I'm painting. I need to be very mindful that I'm, like, live and streaming right now, because, like, if I don't focus on it, I will literally start being like this. You can't see that shit. Mostly because I'm painting green, and it gets green screened out. I was looking at vampires and feral vampires? Hell yes. I feel like vampires would be something that I enjoy. I don't know why. Just a feeling. I was never a huge vampire guy, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I did have to paint something slender and goth, I think I would probably lean more towards the Drukhari than the vampires. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like... Oh, but then again, there's just something so classic about, like, the fucked up Nosferatu vampires. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'd be super interested in, like, the, you know... There's no other way to describe it. I don't think I'd be super interested in, like, the sexy vampires, you know what I mean? Give me those fucked up, bold, suit-wearing Nosferatu-looking fucks. That's my jam. Werewolves, though? Excellent question. Have I ever painted anything even werewolf adjacent? I think I primed a Felgor Beastman once, and then just went, I don't think this guy's for me. I don't have a lot of experience painting fur, now that I think about it. Like, the 2 Skaven miniatures I did 10 more billion years ago were literally, like, the extent of my fur painting prowess. Because the orcs don't have a lot of fur. They really don't have a lot of fur, I've decided. I've noticed. Where am I? How much did that leather thing set you back? This harness? Not that much. It's pretty cheap. Harnesses usually are pretty cheap, I find. You can usually find them for like 20 bucks or something. I'm sure real ones are probably more expensive, but I'm a cheap bastard, what can I say? You need more rat boys? They're the orcs of fantasy? Yeah, but like, listen. The thing that I like about the orcs in 40k are that they're big. Like, I don't, listen, the thing that really pulls me to the orcs isn't that they're weird, or that they're crazy guys. It's mostly the fact that they are huge, chunky muscle men. That gives me a lot of plastic to paint. Is it pleather you mean? Yes! TikTok user 1 in 26. I think it is pleather. Like, it's definitely not real leather. Not for the fucking price I paid for it, I can tell you that much. I don't think I own a real leather belt. You know, even the ones that are supposed to go around my waist. I think this was, like, I do remember, I purchased this from, like, I hate to describe it as a real company, but, like, a company that, like, boasted itself as, like, we're, like, an alternative fashion, like, brand place. And I was like, oh, cool, okay, so I don't mind spending a little bit more on this. So I think it did end up being, like, I don't know, 50 bucks or something like that. And then I got it, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, this is some cheap shit. Like, this is, like, like, they probably bought this on, like, AliExpress and, like, upsold it from there. I was very disappointed, but not disappointed enough to get my money back, because, quite frankly, I'm too lazy to do that. Rough. Yeah, it was. I feel like I've been burned by that a couple of times. Like, every time I go like, no, I shan't succumb to the whims of fast fashion, and I shall spend a little bit more on my purchases in order to be ethical and sustainable and environmental and to pay people what they're worth for the garments that they make. And then I do that, and then I get it, and it's like, fucking hell, this is cheap shit. I've been swindled. Have you considered making your own? Maybe. I like crafty stuff. Could I make this? I don't know. I feel like miniature painting is my hobby craft of choice for the time being, but knowing me and the speed at which I bounce from thing to thing and hobby to hobby, just give me like 6 months and I'll be a leather worker or a blacksmith or a video game programmer or something, I don't know. Just give me time, I'll get there. Mushrooms, mushrooms, mushrooms! Lizard man or the big chung guy. Don't get me too excited, blacksmithing is relaxing to watch. I'm sure it is. There are a surprising amount of blacksmithing classes that are available in my, you know, my inner city location of indeterminate origin. I could take a blacksmithing class if I wanted to. I don't think I would, but just knowing the options there for me is a very strange thing to know. Because again, none of you will ever know where I live, but like, I don't live in a place that you would expect blacksmithing classes to take place. I don't even know under what facility those would be. I think they happen at like the same community center that also has the swimming pool? The fuck? Whenever I watch your videos, you always have some bullshit on, and that bullshit is pretty damn fucking cool. Hell yeah, it is! I don't know if you're talking about the way that I look, YouTube user, the drink collectibles, or the fucking weird-ass music that I listen to. I will not apologize for listening to the Kirby soundtrack. It would be so funny if you rapidly pivoted into being a buff muscle man blacksmith. Listen, give me a couple years at the gym and I'll get there. I do alright, I've been taking my fitness... Well, I was about to say that I've taken my fitness pretty seriously these last couple of months. I think I ate an entire tray of cookies yesterday. They were there. I was hungry. They're still there. I could eat more. I may end up doing that. Just leave the roids alone. Yeah. Listen, if I'm gonna get jacked, I'm gonna do it of my own accord. The Kirby soundtrack goes hard as fuck. Yes, it always does. I like how all the Kirby songs from Super Smash Bros. Are like fucking orchestral remixes of like 8-bit fucking happy jams. Okay, I think I painted the base of this guy enough for the time being. Like, I realize it's a really like boring thing to paint on stream because like anytime I'm painting him, like I literally cannot show you what I'm painting because his fucking like billowing Marilyn Monroe dress is like covering like 90% of what he does. So I'm just gonna leave that there for now. Move on to painting a different color. Enjoy those cookies, you look great, stay strong, boss. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Consistency doesn't care if you eat a whole tray of cookies. Oh, I care. Fitting this tray of cookies in your mouth all at once, Jesus Christ. Stop, huh? Is this the Death Guard green that's actually usable? Nope! This is the Death Guard green that's skunk and fucking dried out and I don't want anymore. I thought I was going to throw it across the room, but that would be mean and rude, so I'm just going to put it there for now. Sup to you too, YouTube user the Invisible Cactus YT. This is the Death Guard green that I need. I don't think I need to, like, do... This is always the most frustrating thing to me about painting orcs. Like, I think I got pretty good coverage of the green on his body for the time being. But, like... There's only a couple of places that, like, the green's a little bit lacking. Like, there's a little bit on his, like, knuckles there that's sort of, like, oozing into the, base coat. And also his like knees down there could be a little bit more green, I think. So it's this really weird thing of like, oh, I have to do a whole other green layer just for these tiny little things that I missed. You know what I mean? What white do you use, by the way? I don't know. For the, like, this is actually, like, across his staff and across the, wraps that he's got here, I use Bony Spikes from the Warpaint's Fanatique range. So it's not actually white, it's a very light yellow, but the color probably doesn't come out in my camera too good because my shit is held together with duct tape. Do I have any white miniatures that I've ever painted? Oh god, I've got the old Apothecary that I got from the Leviathan set. He's a little bit scungy. I was still very much learning how to, paint at this point. I might melt this guy down and try again. It's just the face that I, like, never ended up completing, because, like... Yeah, you're not really going to be able to see it with the way that you can zoom in there, but, like... This was, like, the first ever, like, face that I tried to paint, so, like, I never ended up painting his eyes. I ended up, like, painting, washing, repainting, rewashing, and I just laid it up to the point where it's like, you can't really see it on the camera, but his features are kind of, like, puffy, like he's having an allergic reaction, simply because I've put so much paint on him and painted over him so many times that, like, it's just laid up to the point where he's like, ooh. Just spat everywhere. Blech. It's like bad makeup. That's exactly right. Alright, so I'm doing green. Do you have any experience with off-brand paints? Is that referring to paints that are not Citadel or Army Painter, or is that a specific brand of paint called off-brand paints? It could be either. But no, I mostly use Citadel and Army Painter. Not for any brand loyalty, mind you. If you're a paint company who wants to give me $7,000 and a free set of paints, I will hawk you until the end of time. But, like, I mostly use Citadel and Army Painter just because they're what I have available at my local stores and things like that. And Army Painter is pretty good. And I really like... Listen, I'm not like a huge Warhammer brand loyalist or whatever, but the fact that all the Citadel paints are named Warhammer things, that kind of gets me. I do kind of feel chuffed about that. It's like, ooh, they have Slagathor Orange? Like the guy from the book? Not Citadel paints, like cheaper dupes and stuff. Yeah, it's mostly for me, Citadel and Army Painter. I try to fuck around with a couple of things every now and again. Now that I have an airbrush, which I just continuously talk about like all the time because I guess I'm an airbrush guy now. Didn't think it would happen, but it definitely did. But now that I have an airbrush and I kind of know how to use it, I am very much looking to try some new paints. Like Vallejo, for instance. I haven't really fucked around with them, but I hear they're really good in the airbrush. Oh, their spray primers are so good. What does chuffed mean? That is an excellent question, and I will not explain. Oh, I'm a rascal. Now I want to see a generic Walmart-esque off-brand mini paint set. I think that'd be awesome. One thing I've always wanted to do, low-key, as like a painting challenge or something like that, is I've wanted to paint like a Space Marine or like a model or something that I have laying around, only using like child's acrylic paint and tools from like the dollar store. Because you know how at the dollar store you get like child's paint kits or like 5 packs of paintbrushes that are just like the worst things you've ever seen in your entire life? It's acrylic paint. It's paintbrushes. There's no reason why you couldn't paint a Space Marine with one of those. Anyway, maybe I'll do that for a stream and like make a YouTube video on it or something, I don't know. Follow me on YouTube! Chuffed is informal British English. It's true. Just like me. Don't bother, the Turbo Dork shifters aren't worth it. Are they? I bought a couple of like Turbo Dork paints because one of my local game stores were having like Turbo Dork like refreshed their range or whatever. And then they like, what do you call it? Like, because Turbo Dork, like, refreshed their range, they were, like, selling some of their older paints for, like, really cheap. So I bought a couple of them, and you're right, I haven't been able to really get the most out of them. I heard that the Turbo Dog paints were pretty good in airbrushes, but then I tried to use it in my airbrush, and it was so fucking thick that it clogged the entire thing, and I wasn't too happy about that. Oops. They are finicky, and shaking them up don't get them fully mixed, and it's painful. Yeah, it's like... I have the same problem with, like, I've got some Green Stuff World, like, color shifting paints, which do look really nice, but you gotta shake the fuck out of them. Have you heard of the new Orc model, the Thunker? I don't know why, but I feel like you're setting me up for, like, a thunk about these nuts joke, or something like that. God, I hope I got ahead of that. Is the boy being weird? Yes, the boy is being weird. YouTube user TJ Hayes 484. He's being weird as fuck, quite frankly. And I'm about to be weird and paint his little toesy woesies. Because I am evil like that. Sorry, when I do, like, really fine details, like... I don't know if it helps, but, like, when I do fine details, like toes and stuff like that, or, like, his toes, rather, sometimes I fully, like, hold my breath, like I'm a fucking World War II sniper, just... Keeps me steady. Let's see, where are we? These new orcs in the Armageddon set have more exposed toes than anything I've ever painted in my entire life. There's a bunch of orcs that I have on my pile of shame right now that just have their dogs out, and I feel like that wasn't a problem before. What I'm learning is that I apparently gravitated towards Turbo Dog because the color shifting paint fulfilled a niche use case of mine. I mean, it's true. I do feel like I tend to gravitate towards more, like, solid, flat colors. You know what I mean? Like, I bought a bunch of, like, color-shifting paints and, like, the weird, like, fancy ones. But, I don't know. I think there's something very simple to me about just, like, flat colors and, like, more of a... Like, I hate to describe it as more of a cartoony aesthetic, but... I don't know. Like, it seems to me that I just like big blocky colors, and I like big ass fucking like dry brushing sessions because I'm lazy. Will we get some lore for the Weirdboy? Oh, you better believe you will. That's what I want. That's why I'm trying to like fucking finish some of these things because I feel like I've been in base coating hell where I've just been like painting the flat colors on like a bunch of orcs at once. And this is my problem, right? Like a lot of people say that like, oh, you know, you should batch paint where you do like all of the colors on like all of the different things like in sequence, right? But for me, that's like torture. Like I want to feel like I'm progressing with something. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I want to be, you know, chipping away at a model. Like if I'm just painting the same green and the same brown on like 10 things at once, I'm gonna get demotivated, because I'm a lazy fuck. Mr. Cat, do you have an Age of Sigmar army? YouTube user Rain0909, I do not. If I did have a Age of Sigmar army, I think it would be, God, what are they? The Chaos Warriors. The Slaves to The Slaves to Darkness. That's the word that I was fucking scrounging for. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, I painted a Slave to Darkness model from, like, one of those free minis of the month thing that Warhammer stores do. And I really enjoyed that, actually. The thing for me, though, was that, like, I wanted to paint my Slave to Darkness model, like, silver. You know what I mean? Because, like, I didn't want to paint him, like, solid black, like I thought the Slave to Darkness color scheme usually was. But then it turns out the Slaves to Darkness are pretty silver to begin with. I thought they were, like, Abaddon black. But it turns out I was wrong. And a fool, as I so often am, quite frankly. I am simply a clown. Bouncing around for your benefit. And entertainment. A fair assumption. Yeah, I mean, Slaves to Darkness do really, like, call out to me. Well, it's just because I had fun painting that one that I did. You know what I mean? But I don't know, I still, like, if I was to do, like, a full, Age of Sigmar army, I think I would actually, like, genuinely need to think about it for a little bit. I like dwarves, but I don't think I like the Age of Sigmar dwarves aesthetic, if that makes sense. Like, the Caradron Overlords are, what do you call it? Like, they're a little bit too technically advanced than than is my taste in fantastical things. What is your opinion on the Lizard Men? The Lizard Men? I don't know. I have no opinion on the Lizard Men, actually. Those guys could be anything, and I think that's beautiful. I think you get some real, like, I think you could get some real fun, like, effects and stuff on the Lizard Men. And I think that could be really interesting, but I don't know. I don't know. See, this is dangerous, because now I'm thinking about, you know, this is how it starts, right? If I was to purchase an Age of Sigmar army, what would it be? Who would I go for? Under what circumstances would I do this? And this is the kind of thought process that leads to purchases that you cannot take back. And that scares me. For dwarves, there are rumors that will come soon. Okay. Okay. Have a good night. Happy painting and cramping. Happy good night to you. I couldn't decide between Daughters of Cain or Soulblight Gravelord, so I ended up going Soulblight because slim elf woman flesh was intimidating to paint. That is true. Elves could be cool. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on elves. I think that... I mean, I think I can see myself being pro-elf, but I'm not too sure. Hello there to you too, YouTube user ComicsKin8911. Almost forgot the G. Big Dino go stomp, stomp, stomp. Fuck yes. I mean, you know what? Okay, you know what? If I was to go Age of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar kind of call out to me. Because like, I feel like in another life, I would be an Imperial Guard player. Because I just like regular dudes. Does that make sense? I really like regular ass dudes who just do their thing and are like fucking surviving in a fantastical universe or set of circumstances. And that's why I really liked the idea of painting the Guard. But then I realized that if you wanted to be a Guard player, you had to paint 10 billion Guardsmen. And I didn't fuck with that. But Cities of Sigmar, on the other hand, I feel like could be a little bit easier. At least to my understanding of the game. Like, I'm sure I'd have to paint a whole lot more of them, but I also feel like I get more variety with the Cities of Sigmar. Like, I feel like from the model kits that I've seen, you know, there's a little bit more... Like, they're a little less person with gun, you know what I mean? Regular dudes with artillery, that's exactly right. Let's go, Wookie boys, hell yeah! Gotta be honest, if I had to choose an army, it would be STD. I'll tell you, they are a pain to paint. Oh no. Well, that being said, I feel like none of my 40k projects are a quote-unquote pain to paint. So I feel like that could be like a good challenge for me. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the hardest thing that I would paint in my usual collection is probably, like, the Chaos Space Marines. But they're still Space Marines, you know? So they still got, like, a lot of, like, big plastic surfaces and, People complain about trimming a lot, but, you know, trimming's... It's not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of just a paint by number. You just gotta be... You just gotta be in the mood for that. Out of the cat. I want to start painting Warhammer, but I don't know what faction to pick. Low-key want to paint Orcs. Do it! Orcs are a great, like... Orcs are a great, like, starter faction as well, because, like... When you play Orcs... And, I mean, this might have changed with, like, the new model kits and stuff that they've released at edition upon edition. But, like, when you play Orcs... Like, for the money you spend, you get the most physical plastic. And that is something that I think is really good, especially for, like, newer players. Because there's nothing worse than being like, well, it's gonna cost me, like, $1 billion to get into this thing. So that kind of, like, kills some of the passion and drive that I have to do it. But with the Orcs, you can get 10 of the old boys for, like, $50. Or, like, $60. And they're still, you know, stomping around. The newer kits, not so much, but even then, because they're like a horde army, you get like a lot of plastic to play with for a relatively cheap price. The fact that people play God is so confusing to me. You get all these cool, weird sci-fi things, you want to choose boring old humans and tanks. Listen, bro's never heard of the indomitable human spirit. Bro has never felt the need to stand up against tyranny with nothing but a las rifle and leather armor in your hands. Bro has never felt hope. Real guards is cool, but everything else, they're kind of boring. It's true. But there's a charm to that, you know? And this is the kind of thing that I keep telling people who, like, complain about, like, the Ultramarines. You need the baseline. Like, if everyone was, like, a super uber-duper super soldier, then no one would be. You know what I mean? Like, you need the people who are just regular dudes to sort of be, like, the linchpin of benchmark of which everybody else can be, like, you know, measured up against. You know what I mean? And then, when you have a bunch of guardsmen who fucking kick ass, that's cool as shit. Don't give up on the hobby no matter what. That's exactly right. We are an accepting community here. I say, even though there's nothing I would want less than to describe myself as starting a community. I know that some people on Twitch and, like, internet people are like, I'm gonna start a community and, like, create a Discord and everyone can all hang out. I cannot think of anything that I would want worse. Listen, I love you all, but as soon as I'm done on stream, I'm going to bed. I'm not letting you hang out at my house afterwards. When I'm on here, I am yours, mind, body, and soul. But outside of that, don't talk to me. I'm sleeping. The space nuns. Not very nun-like. Well, I guess some of them have wimples. So there's that, I suppose. I like the Imperial Guard as lunch. Get him! I need to go back to my Tyranids. I really do. There's a whole bunch of Tyranids on my pile of shame right now that I really like. I think that getting an airbrush... Again, I'm talking about the fucking airbrush. I've become everything that I've, like, despised. You know what I mean? Like, I always told myself that, like, oh, you know... I always told myself, and, like, I almost did this in, like, the sponsored video that I made about the airbrush that I got. Like, I always used to tell myself that I'm never getting an airbrush. I'm never going to stoop to that level. I'm never going to become the elitist freaks who, you know, look down upon us classic pencil and paintbrush plebeians. But now I have an airbrush, I'm like, hey, it's kind of fucks. It's kind of rips. I hate the fact that it's 3:30 AM. Listen, when I lose my job and become unemployed, then I'll stream 24/7 so everyone can watch me at all hours, okay? After I'm eventually fired for one reason or another, I'll be all yours. I should joke about that. There's an army of Necron slaves who work for Chaos. Sound epic? That does sound epic. I love mix and match, like mixy matchy factions. Like Xenos corrupted by Chaos, Chaos that corrupt Xenos. Well, I guess it's a very like Chaos-led mentality, but you know what I mean. I might get an airbrush at some point, but I think I'll still prefer brush. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I learned when I got my airbrush, was that I thought it was going to revolutionize the process and change everything for me. Sleep well. But I realized that once I started using it, it's like, oh, this is just another tool that I can learn how to use. It's not going to change everything, but it's going to like give me a couple more options. We found the videos of you weird little guys, and we have to let you go. Perfectly understandable. Have a nice day. And they'd be right to do it. Oh, God. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. The best way to go. There's only one boss that I need to care about, and it's him. This is the only boss that I care about. It's still not done. I still need like dry brush my detail and everything, but I'm just showing off because I like to do it. One of these days, I'm just gonna do a stream, which is literally just me going like, "Look at my little guys. Look at them." Is that gas? No, it's not gas. My gas is contained in a, like, fucking hermetically sealed container just off to the left of my camera here. Which I fully cannot show because I should not do that. I have a very deliberate setup right now. Like, my cameras are specifically poised so you don't know how much of a mess my fucking space is. Gas is much bigger. He is much bigger. And you know what? I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. You sit there, Frog Wizard. Sorry, Frog Wizard was sitting on top of the gas and I need to move him. Where is he? Okay. Oh, there you are. Get out of here. I do keep my gas cool in a jar and it is kind of a problem. There he is. There's my big, sweet, beautiful boy. Look at that. I was really happy with how this gas turned out. Like, he's one of my favorite models that I've ever painted. Because he's so fucking big. God, my camera quality's shit. He looks way better in real life. Anyway. Nice. Do you plan to get Nazdrag when he comes out? I will think about it. Like, the thing that to me is, like, I really like, See, I'm in two minds about Nazdrag. Like, I looked at him and I thought to myself, he looks so fucking ugly, and I hate him. But then again, I've also had that thought about every other mega armored unit I've ever painted. Like, my Mega Knobs, I thought to myself, well, these guys suck. I'm only painting them because I need them to run Gazgul effectively. This was before they updated it, so we can also be paired with, like, boys and knobs and all that shit. But, like, I literally thought to myself, this sucks, I don't want to do it. And then I painted them, and now I look at them and I go, like, those are pretty cool, actually. And I actually kind of enjoyed painting those. Same with the War Boss in Mega Armor. Like, this guy's just a Minecraft cube with legs. He sucks. And now he's like my most popular model of all time, and I really enjoyed painting him. So, I don't know where that leaves me. There's my Mega Armor boys. Ugh. Oh, don't look at that. Those are my hips, don't worry about them. Where's... Alright, I'm just playing show and tell now, I don't give a shit. Here's my other Mega Armored lads. But yeah, like, I got these guys, and, like, I really wasn't looking forward to painting them, just because, like, I didn't think they'd be fun. They're just, like, big, boxy, like, there's no customization for them outside of them doing this. But then I got through it. I think it's the dry brushing. Like, as soon as I get to the dry brushing phase? As soon as I got to the dry brushing phase, you know, and I really got to, like, get the highlights on those really, like, sharp corners sort of thing, that's when I was like, ooh, okay. I see the appeal now. He looks very well painted. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. The only thing I don't like about this one is that, like, I built him all together, and I was like, okay, base coat, time to paint him. And then I realized that, like, he's got a mouth. Like, he's got a full jaw. But, like, I glued his iron jaw on, like, before I primed him or anything. So I'm like, oh, there's, like, that much space between the iron jaw and his face. I can't paint that. Like, I physically cannot get a brush in there. So, like, at least with these guys, I, like, painted them with their heads out, and then I did the iron jaw separately, and then glued it on. Because I learned from my mistakes. I'm gonna put these guys fucking somewhere, because, you know. What's your opinion on Chaos? I enjoy Chaos. It's one of my works in progress. I think all of my, like, actual, like, finished painted Chaos Marines are, like, tucked away at the moment, so I don't think I have any, like, lying around that I can just rip out. But I got some cultists. Do we have cultists? Ooh, actually, never mind. I got some possessed! Look at that! Look at that fucker. Not gonna lie, I kind of cooked with the skin tones there. This, I'm very proud of him. Like, I feel like I'm so modest in, like, so many places in my life, but, like, when I have a banger of a mini, you're gonna hear about it from me. Like, I'm like, I cooked here. I don't care what anyone fucking says. And, like, this guy? Look at that. It's got, like, the gradient on the fucking tentacle that goes from, like, the black of the marine armor to, like, the white bone, which I kinda made completely invisible from the back with the blood splatter. But, like, check that shit, man. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Looks nice as hell. Thank you, thank you. 8.6 out of 10. I'll take it. My favorite part about this mini. So, I really like how this mini came out. Like, I love the gradient there. I love the horns. I love the blood spatter effects. I had a great time painting this mini. I fully missed a piece on his back thigh. Wait. What's the other thing? What's the other thing that's not thigh? Calf! I missed an entire piece on the back of his calf, and I didn't realize that until I'd already built, primed, and started painting him. So I had to, like, make a quick addition on the fly and make the back of his leg like an open, gaping maw with, like, a fucking, like, weird tongue that's just, like, lolling out because he doesn't have a back piece for his leg. And, like, by the time I'd already built and primed it, I, like, thrown out the box, so I didn't actually have a piece that fit on the back of his leg here. So now he just has a fucking weird-ass mouth on the back of his leg, and I just have to live with that. I will say, I am very proud of the last-minute fucking fix that I had to do on him, because, like, listen, I thought this model was ruined. But you know what? With a little bit of patience and ingenuity, I pulled him back from the brink. And I will take that victory to my grave. Grave. I forgot the E. It's late. Shut up. We're not here to talk about Chaos. We're talking Ox today. Anyway, that's just what you need to know. Like, that's what he's gonna look like at the end of all this. Okay? Listen. He looks glunky now, but, like, once I get all the accoutrement on him, holy shit, the Weirdboy is big. What the fuck? I just realized how big this guy is. Like, this is a massive fucking Chaos Space Marine. And this is a guy who gazed into the abyss, and the abyss therefore gazed back into he. Like, what the fuck? Gotta go through the ugly phase of the job before you get pretty? That's exactly right, Twitch.tv user Grimnir Dance. That's so fucking real. I promise you, you have to trust the process. God, now my desk is just full of, like, even more half-painted shit. Alright, it's... Show and tell is over. Okay. Speaking of show and tell being over, I'm going to take a quick break, just so I can fill myself up with water. Is it too late for me to have another Dr. Pepper? It's 6:39 p.m. If I have another Dr. Pepper now, I'm not gonna go to bed tonight. I'm gonna figure out what the best thing to do here is, but I'll be right back. Gonna sort my shit out, and I'll be right back. Alright. Hope you don't mind, but I also brought myself a tasty little snack. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you guys, but I fucking love just buying a bag of frozen mango and just like eating that shit. I'm back to painting my salamander. Listen, close enough. Alright. I still haven't figured out what color I want to make his, Ed Banger, I believe is the technical term. I think... I don't know, like, gold is sort of sticking out to me, but, like, I don't know if I'm really, like... Am I really a gold guy? You know what I mean? I prefer dehydrated mango. That's fair. Hold on, let me just double check. What color is the... what color is, like, the default Weirdboy thing? I have to reach over all of my fucking shit to type. No, don't give me an AI-sponsored overview. Fuck off. Okay, so the default, like, headbanger stuff is like a bone... It's like a bone skeleton, basically. Which isn't really what I want to go for. So I am thinking maybe something like a gold. Maybe I go for the sparkly green that I have. No. Because I bought this paint thinking I could use it for like an orc project. But I don't know. I think the metallic green on like the green skin guy, like something about that is just a little too ostentatious to me. Like something, it's like I feel like I should be contrasting against the green skin rather than just trying to make everything green. You know what I mean? Red, faster to whack people with. That is, I could do that, but also like I don't use red a lot in my orc scheme. It's like, will it look a little too out of place? You should do a fabulous lion. Yeah, if I could paint Lionel Johnson with fucking this, that'd be great. Green is best. Green is best. Maybe I will. Just to see what it would be like. Nope, I'm second guessing it too much. I think I'm just gonna stick gold. You know what? I'll paint the entire like head of the staff gold, and if I'll paint the entire head of the staff gold, and then if I like don't like that, I can paint over the skull. That seems like a good way to like split the difference there. Hot pink, it goes well with yellow. See, this is what people keep telling me. And you know what? I'm starting to believe it. How is everyone? Well, I can't speak for everyone. YouTube user, hi and how. But I am doing very well. It's Friday night, baby. I think Friday's going to be my mini painting nights. I can feel it in my bones. Dry brush a little glittery green around their templates to make them look... Okay. I like that. A metallic green dry brush is something that I haven't actually considered before. Have I? Have I done a metallic green dry brush? I must consider this. I must commune with the Elder Gods. What am I, fucking Raiden? Jesus Christ. Pink is always acceptable. That's right. I do. You know, I don't think I've ever talked about this before, but like, I was at one point planning to paint the Emperor's Children as like my Chaos army force. Because I really like the idea of painting like a hot pink Chaos Space Marine. And I still do. In fact, I think I have like I was trying it with this one over here. I think I pulled this guy out a couple times. But like I think this is really fun. And I think it'd be really fun to have like a whole bunch of fucking pink Marines like that. That'd be really cool as hell. But I don't know. Like, people say hail Slanesh enough in the comments of my social media videos. I don't want to lean into that. People are just weird about it sometimes, you know? Like, I kind of resent I kind of resent the implications that have festered over the years of, like, Slanesh is horny. It's the horny one. People get real weird about that real fast. Are you painting fantasy or 40k? I am painting Warhammer 40,000, specifically the new Weirdboy. Okay, I really like how this gold is coming out. Normally I don't do gold on my orcs. Like, I usually leave it like more muted coppers. But I've recently started putting a little bit of gold on my boys for, like, some of the bigger models and some of the more fancy ones. And I'm kind of digging how it's turning out. Like, I had this guy, and then I also put a little bit more, like, gold details on the war boss that I had. Like, I very specifically made, like, his rotor blades gold. And I think I like it because once I put shade paint on there, it kind of, like, dulls down the gold a little bit. Like, I put gold on his horns, but then I also put, like, Seraphim Sepia shade sort of thing. So I think it does dull it down a little bit. Or, like, I put, like, on the, like, skull plates on his chest. Like, the top one is, like, copper, and the bottom one is, like, gold. But then I put a shade over it. It's sort of, like, it made it a little less stark, I guess is the way that I put that. Yes, Slanesh was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and second, mostly just the sex thing stuck. I think people just make fun about it, like funny memes about it on the internet, and that's like, whatever. Like, I'm all for fun and games, but like, you know, when it starts getting personal, I don't know about that. Take a page out of Legally Blonde, make your minis fabulous. I have wanted to do that. I do think it's, like, fun to try lots of new different things, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I like painting Space Marines and Tyranids, because I pretty much use my Space Marines and Tyranids as a, like, what do you call it? I use them as a testing ground. So, like, I really, so all of my Tyranids that I paint are, like, different colors, or they're different colors in their carapace, at least. And all of my Space Marines are from different chapters, because that just gives me an excuse to paint new and cool things, you know? And I really enjoy that. I really want to, I just like an excuse to paint new and interesting things. I think that's the thing for me. Like, I like orcs, yes, but the thing that I really like about orcs specifically is that, I get to, like, build them all weird and different. Like, I get to, like, customize their models a lot, and that gives me a lot of creative fulfillment. Space Marines, I don't get that much customization. Like, I'm able to personalize Space Marines a lot, but at the end of the day, they're still just, like, a big super soldier in clunky power armor. Like, no matter which way you slice it, right? I don't know why, but I've been doing a lot of Necromunda things. A lot of Necromunda things. It's because it's fun. Honestly, one of these days, I'm going to get into Necromunda. Like, I've got some people down at my local store who are really, like, big into Necromunda, and I feel like, ooh, their salesmanship is getting to me. Especially with, like, the new edition of Necromunda that's coming out, I really, like, I always feel like it's good to, like, get started on a new game when a new edition comes out, because that's what I did on 10th. Like, I feel like, and, you know, if you've been playing this game for 10 billion years, you could probably prove me wrong, but, like, I feel like with the newer editions that have been coming out, the Games Workshop is very much focused on making them a lot more accessible and removing some of the clunk and jank, which I very much appreciate, you know? Because I'm stupid, and I don't like jank. I didn't originally avoid sisters because they are the girl army, but now I have a squad and I'm going to paint them lesbian colors. Hell yeah! Hell yeah. I don't know, I like the sisters. I think I'll I'm thinking I'll at least paint, like, a squad of Battle Sisters at some point in my life. Like, I'm not sure if I'll ever get, like, a full army or something like that. But at the very least, a squad of Battle Sisters you can run in, like, the Imperial Agents, if I ever decide to do one of those. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm gonna do something right now, and you're not gonna like it, but it has to be done. Oh. This thing actually hurts my back if I keep wearing it for too long. Get out of here. I'm sorry. I made a Chaos Cult list, and now I'm painting a Chaos Cult gang. Hell yes. I've always found it so fascinating, the idea of running like a Chaos Cultist list, because like there are lists that like, you know, really rely on like the Chaos Cultist, but there's all of those models only have one way to be put together. You're telling me people are just like painting the same Chaos Cult pack of 10 Chaos Cultists again and again and again and again and again and again and again? Insane. Beauty is pain, I understand that. Yeah, like that thing like really like hurts my back if I wear it too long. And it didn't used to. Like I think like I feel like my torso has like grown too big for it. Like it used to fit fine on me, but now for some reason like hurts to wear for too long. It's I'm also like shrimping a little bit too, like You need to try a corset next. I've tried corsets before. That's a orchid Weirdboy. Hell yeah, it is. That's a fucked up little guy with like 10 faces. We love to see it. Alright, I'm gonna let that gold like sit for a bit because like I think I put it on really wet. So like if I try to repaint over it, it's just gonna like sloosh. I haven't had the chance to really grab paints or glue, so I've just been slowly collecting the models of the month. I mean, that's a way to do it, too. Apparently in Australia, I say apparently, I fucking live there. In Australia, you can't get a free model of the month from a Warhammer store unless you build and paint it in the store. Like, they physically won't let you leave with the model kit. For some weird legal compliance reason. I don't know why that is. It's probably because it's like a choking hazard or some shit, but there's your fun little international rules and regulations fact for you tonight. You're welcome. Alright, what do I still need to do? Alright, I got a couple of like yellow flecks on the gun there, so I'm probably gonna have to... I've been starting to paint some of my like shooters copper brown instead of like Abaddon black, and I kind of fuck with that. Like normally I only like paint the guns a different color if it's like a special orc or something like that, but something about having like a coppery brown gun, it kind of works. I don't know if I have any like proper examples of it, but like, I mean, you can see normally like I just use like solid black for like the gunmetal. Because it's easy! I prime black, so I don't have to do anything. I love being lazy, man. But, like, recently I've made it, like, coppery brown, and that's really worked for me. Oh, God. I can hear my own thoughts now. This is bad. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit! I just like playing Super Smash Bros. Soundtracks while I work. It soothes me! Why does a Weirdboy need a shooter if he makes things explode? Because it's fucking cool, dog! He's got 4 arms on his back there. Like, that's sick as hell. Also, I needed some way to customize him because I simply cannot let my shit be normal. Like, I always need some little fucked up shit going on. And you know what? I stand by that. I prime in brown. That gives my models that warm color scheme. I did that for a while. I did that for my vehicles, but I don't know, for some reason, like, because I primed this brown, it's still going, but like this biker here I primed brown. And it said it's okay, but I don't know, I feel like when I try to prime different colors, I get really neurotic, and I'm like, it's not the same as it always is. It's not the same as the colors that they normally are. And that shits me. And it sucks because, like, no one gives a shit. No one gives... Like, it's such a subtle thing that, like, only I can see because I'm looking at my models like this. Because, like, I'm looking at them really close and I can see every detail because I'm fucking painting them. But, like, nobody else gives a shit. I use speed paints. I don't know if that does half the work anyway. Yes, it does. I love speed paints. God bless him. That's a great bike. Thank you. Twitch.tv user Control-Alt-Cassidy. That was really pronounced. Probably real uncomfortable when I say that. I need to go back to finishing those bikes. Like, I have been sitting on those bikes for a very long period of time because I just haven't gotten around to them. I have to shake that up real bad. This thing gets glunky as hell. But I bought those bikes because, like, I literally bought those bikes because I wanted to viably be able to use the... What's it called? The big bike. The Death Killer War Trike. And I just haven't finished painting them. I just simply have not finished painting them. And yet I still bought the Armageddon box set like a fucking crazy person. Would you rather be a wizard or a wizard with a big gun? I'd just rather be a wizard. I don't think I need to own a firearm. I don't know. I don't need that energy in my life. Alright. Let's paint some wraps. You do not understand, like, how happy I am having switched from Wraithbone to, like, Army Painter, like, Bony Bits, or whatever the fuck the paint is called. Wraithbone was the bane of my existence. I don't know what they did to that paint to make it the thickest, most unwieldy paint in the history of acrylics, but it fucking shitted me, and I got annoyed and upset. So I bought a new, different kind of paint. That's a really unsatisfying end to that story. I don't know why, but I own 3 boxes of Necromunda, all built and painted, never played a game. Listen! If you're somebody who just paints the models and, like, doesn't play the game in any of these fucking things, that's so valid. Like, you don't need... See, this is my favorite shit about, like, mini painting as a hobby. Like, yes, there are games. Yes, there are, like, fucking... There's a fucking, like, professional tournament scene in this shit. You don't have to do that. And that's okay. Like, you can do as much or as little as you fucking want in the miniature painting hobby, and that's cool as shit. Why is this fucking so blown out in the light? Yeah, I need to turn that light down a little bit. It was getting blasted, Jesus. What kind of orc would you be? Just an orc or a regular Rick? If I was an orc... You know what? This is gonna sound self-deprecating, but if I was an orc, I think I'd be a grot. Like, I think I'd be one of these little fucked up guys. You know? But, like, I'd be the grot that's, like, too stupid to be miserable. You know what I mean? Like, if I was orc, I'd be one of the little fucking Gretchen who gets, like, kicked around and is disrespected and hated, but is also, like, so stupid that he doesn't see that, and lives, like, a blissful life of action and ignorance. I feel like that would be me. Because I am stupid, and I love it. Ah, fuck. See, the one bad thing about gluing his arms in this way is that, like, I've created, like, no space in, like, the interior chest cavity for me to move my paintbrush. And that's starting to be a problem for me, quite frankly. That is starting to be a problem for prob me. I'd be an anvil squig. That's... Listen, live your truth, bestie. I, for one, don't want to be subject to a world... I, for one, don't want to be subject to a life where I am continuously bonked on the head. But then again, I work in an office job, which is basically the same thing when you think about it. So you know what? Good for you. I would like to be a sneaky commando. I would also like to be a sneaky commando so I can hide from my responsibilities. God, there's so much space, like... It's so awkward, like, I can't paint the shit underneath his robe while also letting you see what I'm doing, because there's just no space to do it. They really didn't make this model with amateur Twitch streamers in mind. Nor did they make this model with the... Nor did they make this model anticipating people would glue 2 extra arms on the back of this guy's spine either. But fuck it, we ball. It sounds like a great Nintendo Wii game. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing? I need to keep this guy on camera too. Alright. Oh god, painting all their teeth is gonna be like a fucking nightmare. But you know what? It's gonna be a fun challenge, and I'm here for it. Okay. What else can I do here? I feel like I'm just at the point where I'm doing busy work now. Like, I think that... Yeah, I'll do another layer of the yellows, because there's some, like, spaces on the back of the cables and stuff. Like, this cable especially is, like, really dirty with, like, patchwork shit. Alright. I probably want to be a speed freak because they look like they're having the time of their lives going fast. Yeah, until they fucking explode. One of my favorite bits out of like all of the orc pieces of fiction out there is I think there's a bit in De Big Dakka where the orcs are trying to like break into a Drukhari compound, and one of the speed freaks is like, I know, I'll take my fucking what do you call it? Shock jump dragster, and I'll like, you know, do a warp jump to like get us behind the gate and into the facility and open it from the inside. And so he drives as fast as fucking possible in the shock jump dragster, but he like the warp jump engine doesn't activate, so he just drives full force into a wall and explodes. And everyone else is like, well, that didn't work. Let's try something new. God damn these glorious idiots. So yeah, be a speed freak at your own risk, I say. That being said, I am very much interested in leveling up my inventory of Speed Freaks units. I do like the idea of running a Speed Freaks army. I got a fuck ton of Death Copters in my pile of shame right now, because I bought the Armageddon Battalion that came with just like a shit ton of Death Copters, and I need to eventually get around to painting those, because I love them on the tabletop. I fucking love the Death Copters. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. They love me. Because I have not failed a hazardous roll from those custom Mega Blasters even once. Silly question, would you get the new Daz Drake Mini? And would he be Gazgul's boyfriend? Of course he would. They're made for each other. See, I was talking about... I think someone asked me this before, and I started a thought, but just didn't finish it. But, like, the thought that I had is that, like, Nazdrake's Mini is so, like, clunky and chunky, and I really don't like how it looks. Like, I see Mega Armor, and I go, like, this just isn't for me. But then I paint it, and I have a great time. So, like, I am kind of thinking of picking him up, even if I don't like the way that he looks, and even if I think he's big and clunky and stupid, because, like, every time I've said that about another Orc Mini, it's been one of my favorite things to paint. Like, I said that about the Mega Knobs, and then I had a great time painting them. I said that about the Warboss and Mega Armor. I had a great time painting him. Give me a big, chunky box of bolts, and I'll paint the shit out of him, apparently. But no, listen, I've still got a lot of work to do in the Armageddon box set. So I think I'm good for purchases for a while. One of you wants to buy him for me? No. I can't keep joking like that because then people do it and I feel bad. Literally, like, I'm always very appreciative when people, like, you know, send me donations or, like, Twitch subs or things like that. But, like, I'm always very appreciative of it. But, like, part of me just doesn't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? Like, people will do it, and then I'll be like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, literally at, like, the tail end of last year, like, somebody, like, donated to my, like, coffee profile, like, $200. Like, some crazy shit like that. Like, they just straight up, in my, like, fucking Ko-fi account, like, gave me $200. And I panicked and deleted my account. Like, that's literally, like, how weird I fucking got about it. Like, they were anonymous, so I would never know, like, who they are, but I was like, that is such a nice thing. I am so undeserving of this. I have a day job. I'm not struggling, like... Like, my goal is to just, like, make content and streams and things like that that people enjoy and like to watch. And that's good enough for me. Although if I can make $100 making a YouTube video about which of the 40k Primarchs I think are gay, like, so be it. I'd donate to buy you monies if I wasn't destitute. Why don't you use that money to buy miniatures yourself? Think! Money can be exchanged for goods and services that you can take advantage of. Buy yourself some health insurance. I hope they show off Orcs this weekend. I feel like we haven't got any news for 40k in a while. Orcs have been eating good for months. Guard players are fucking starving out here. Please, I ain't got that kind of money. Oh yeah, you have money to buy other people things, but not yourself, huh? Is that what it is? Do you always put other people's needs before your own? Be selfish for once. You'll feel better, trust me. Okay. And once again, local asshole thins down his paints too much, makes a watery mess, and it isn't good for anything. God fucking damn it. Okay. Maybe I should have had that second Dr. Pepper. Maybe I shouldn't have. I'm getting too rambunctious. be me buying Space Elves and hopefully we'll dunk on the World Leaders player in the playoffs. Hell yes. I hear Elves are very good. I've never played against them, so I wouldn't know. But something about that makes me want to try, you know? Like, there's lots of armies that I would never personally play myself, but I would love to play against. Like, the Tau is just an army that I have absolutely no interest in playing, but I would love to play it against a Tau army. Like, I think something about going up against a shooting army with, like, such a melee-oriented army, I think would be, like, so much fun, you know? Like, I gotta try to close the distance with them before they fucking blow my brains out. That's fun! I need to be selfish for real, but I literally can't. Well, yes, you can. Be selfish. Put your needs first sometimes. If you can't help yourself, nobody else can on your behalf. And I stand by that. Have any ideas for my Space Marine army? Yes, paint them all yellow. Because I hate you. And I want you to suffer. No, I'm just kidding. Yellow paint is so hard to fucking deal with. I don't know how Imperial Fist players do it. Good grief. I'm sorry. I'm too rambunctious. It's Friday night, baby. Let's see. Make more jokey Warhammer lore videos and my life is yours. I don't know. I feel like I got a couple more goofy videos in me. One time I thought about doing a video about, like, Warhammer things that I thought were real. Like, lore pieces that I thought were real, but just didn't know about. At some point, I believed that Gork and Mork... Like, I knew that they were, like, you know, the gods of the orcs or whatever, but I thought that they were, like, real entities that existed in real space. I thought they were just two orcs that got so big they were, like, celestial and planet-sized, and just hated each other and beat the shit out of each other any chance that they got. For some reason, I thought that was real. Like, I didn't think that they were gods in the warp, or, like, the ethereal plane, or whatever the fuck they do, but... I thought that they were just two really big orcs that everyone loved. Just have them buy you something they want so you can send it back. Uno reverse card. Yeah, get cherished, idiot. Get gifted, son. Oh, got him. Alright, let's see. Okay, that gold is kind of popping now. I'm kind of... Orcs into Tau is such a terrain-dependent experience. There's someone at my local who uses them and I play my Beast Snaggers, and I have been on the wrong end of the Storm Surge many times. But I think that's part of the fun, you know? Also, I'm still really excited to see what the fucking, like, hiding and cover rules are like in 11th edition. Because I think the fact that you can, like, take cover or, like, protect yourself or, like, can't get shot within certain things, like, that seems like a really fun way to play more, like, infantry-led armies. Which is what I do, so... That's a way cooler explanation of what Gork or Mork could be. Yeah, for some reason, because, like, I kind of knew that, like, orcs get bigger the more they punch stuff, right? So I figured Gork and Mork were just two, like, really, 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 really big orcs. Like, big enough that they could, like, exist in space. And that's why they were considered, like, the gods of the orcs or whatever the shit. I don't know where that knowledge came from. Because that's not true, and it's simply just not true. But I don't know why I thought it was. Anyway. It kind of sounds like that one planet-sized guy the Space Marines had to eat their way out of. Later, weirdos, get out of here. Twitch.tv user 1 and 26. Have a wonderful night. By the way, I'm playing Dark Angels. I meant models, not paint schemes. I see. So here's my current conundrum. I don't want to buy another Warhammer set for a really long time. At least until I make a good chunk of progress in my Armageddon box. That being said, the old Dark Angels Combat Patrol does look like really good value. Like the one with like the Intercessors, the Hellblasters, the Captain in Gravis armor, and like the fucking Blade Guard veterans. That looks like such a cool box for someone like me who like just wants to play regular Space Marines without any of the like specific chapter shit. I kind of want to get that box, but I don't want to buy new things. God, why is being alive so hard? Harlequins can jump over cover, so it's not an issue. Good for them. Love those alive little freaks. The new cover rules do help quite a bit. You can park some commandos in a fucking terrain piece way off the fucking no man's land, and they act as a fun little time bomb. I love that. They're literally waiting to ambush. That's the most commando thing you can possibly get. I do like that you can do more fun things with, like, infantry and stuff like that now. I mean, I say that, but I still haven't played a game in the new edition. So, who knows? It could suck. I've seen a couple of people be, like, unhappy with 11th edition, and I think that's really sad. Like, I mean, if a game, like, if a new edition of a game comes out and it kind of, like, ruins rules for your army or whatever, like, I can understand being upset by that. Like, I know some Guard players, are absolutely like, hey, this new edition sucks. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sure they'll, like, patch things and work things out, but, like, it must suck to, like, day one get into fucking... just get a shit hand and, like, have the game be stacked against you. Or maybe they're just bad. I don't know. I feel you about buying new sets. Yeah. Armageddon was expensive, and I don't have much money. No, that's a lie. I do have money. Listen, I joke about being broke because it makes me seem more hip and relatable. Financially, I'm fine. I have to be very careful about self-deprecating humor on the internet because I forget that people actually care about me and, you know, want me to be safe and happy. Which is a crazy thing to experience, mind you, but that's neither here nor there. Edition starts are huge for early balance. Oh boy, are they ever. The issue I've had as Eldari player is I have 2 named characters and no bodyguard unit to keep them from being annihilated. That's always been another thing for me, like, sometimes you just want a cool character, right? But unless they have, like Lone Operative or something like that, they're just gonna get shot from across the map immediately. I had the same thing with Gazgul. Like, Gazgul can lead a pack of Meganobs. Well, he can lead a bunch of shit now, but originally he could only lead Meganobs in his retinue. And so that meant that if you were playing Gaz without Meganobs, you were just playing a worse experience. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I bought the Meganobs to begin with, and it's why I fucking, like, hated Mega Armor, because I was like, I'm not painting this because I want to, or because I like it. I'm literally only painting this because I feel like it will be, like, economically unviable if I don't. And I'm like, the fuck? Made me angry. But then I fell in love with Mega Armor, so it all came out in the end. I'm painting a box of Blade Guard? Hell yes! I'm coming around to, like, the cool sword dudes. Originally, when I first got into 40k, I was like, I don't like this sword and magic shit. I want guns. Because I'm a boy, and boys love guns and explosions. But now I'm like, hey, give me a fucking, like, cool sword, actually. That's dope as hell. Should probably switch to my smaller paintbrush for this. I want to just get the metal on his buckle back here, but my other brush is way too big. Gotta lean in close so I can paint the golds. Painting the gold, gold, gold. Ah, we love to see it. We truly do. Yummers. Okay. Guns, mail-coded swords and magic, therefore fame. Listen. Cast no dispersions, make no judgments. I was hyped when I saw the Gaz could lead boys. Now, I was hyped because I was fucking complaining about that for 10 more billion years, and it finally happened, and I felt so vindicated. The background music is unfortunately reminding me that I have 52 king skeletons to paint. Good grief. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry you're burdened by the fun joy of painting plastic miniatures. I've always been partial to elves in any series. When I actually started playing, I was consumed by the war and couldn't have been happier. Hell yes. I feel like I need to give elves a chance. Maybe I'll look into what the elves have going on in Age of Sigmar, if that is something that I end up wanting to do. Because you know what? I've been too mean to elves. I want some slender tall boys. I feel like it makes sense, you know what I mean? I got a pair of elf ears lying around somewhere. I'm not ashamed. I'm not. You're not gonna make me feel ashamed of that. I don't have to pretend that I don't. Alright. Let's see, what else do I want to paint on this tonight? Okay, I think I'm gonna try painting some of the metal bits around there. Alright, copper it is. Where's my true copper? Do I not have the paint again? Am I missing this one too? Fuck it. I'm gonna cheap out. I'm gonna use a paint pen. I don't care if anyone says that's cheating. And sleep tight to you, YouTube user Ardent Finder. Sweet dreams. There we go. Fuck this. I'm just gonna paint with copper. Listen, if you haven't felt the joy of like acrylic paint pens, you are missing out. I can just whip this out and slap some metallics on my fucking paint job like this. And it's like slick as hell. Like no mixing, no fucking like agonizing over paint consistency or like any shit like that. Just grab and go, baby. I don't have to think, which is great because I hate thinking. I've always wondered if you could modify those blow pens from the 90s to make an makeshift airbrush. I'm just imagining those fucking, like, blow darts, like... What kind do you use? I use AK play markers. They're really great. I mean, like, some of the colors are a little... Well, actually, I have very limited edition... limited edition? I have very limited experience with a lot of the, like, base colors of the play marker range, but the metallics, I fucking love. Like, this is, like, these markers are, like, what helped me do, trimming on my Chaos Space Marines. Because they're just, like, a pointy pen. The paint can come off a little bit wet, sometimes, but, like, what I tend to do when it comes to my Chaos Marines is that, like, I paint over. So, like, I absolutely, like, go over the, trimming and stuff. And then I use a black paint pen to fill it out in between. So like I overshoot and then I pull back, if that makes sense. Where do you get the paint? Where do you get the acrylic paint pens? God, I can't do words anymore. I got these from my, like, I just got them from a hobby shop. Like, there's a lot of retailers that, like... One thing I've learned is that, like, if you can find, like, a hobby shop that has, like, actual... I hate to say actual, but, like, if you can find a hobby shop that has, like, a broader range of, like, miniature stuff, like the hobby shop that I like to go to, they've got Warhammer, they've got, you know... I mean, most of Warhammer, let's be real, but they also have, like, weird shit like the Star Wars miniature painting game that they have, and, like, other weird games that I've never heard of. And they've got a lot of the tools that are used by, you know, like, fucking bolt action, like, World War reenacting mini painters, or, like, you know, people who do, like, dioramas and aren't explicitly, like Warhammer-specific things. Like, these play markers are specifically, like, marketed for, like, D&D players to paint, like, Dungeons & Dragons minis. Like, they're in the D&D section of the fucking store that I go to. And, like, you know, once you start branching out from, you know, Citadel and Army Paint, there's a whole world of cool shit out there. But yeah, AK play markers are really fun. I really like them. And sometimes if I'm, like, listening to, like, a work meeting that I'm fully not paying attention to, I'll literally just, like, be out here, like, fucking base coding some Space Marines. Because I can just do that. I love the idea of just drawing on a model. It's so good. And in fact, yeah, I'm about to blow your fucking mind here right now. I actually just bought some of these to test, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't pick up more of them. But, like, so this is the AK play marker, right? Like, this is a special brand. You get this, it is the copper pen. Like, this, you buy it, that's what you get, right? They also sell at Green Stuff World, Green Stuff World refillable paint pen. So this is a paint marker that is fully empty that I have filled with Rhinox hide. So, shake it up, shake it the hell up, squeeze the fucking, like, paint into the tip, and I can paint with a pen using the exact colors that I freak out about because they are so specific to, like, the shit that I like to do. Like, this is my fucking Rhinox hide. I can just whip this out and go la 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 on the chainsaw, do another base coat of Rhinox hide. Like, none of this shit about fucking, like, going in and, like, thinning the paints down. Like, it's all... I will say, though, the refillable paint markers, they are, like, very hard to get right. Like, you can't just have, like, raw paint in there. You gotta, like, water it down a little bit. And if you don't water it down enough, it'll, like, clog up and then you just won't be able to use it. Like, I've got it around here somewhere. Like, I did it with Death Guard Green in one of the pens, but, like, I fucking, like, fucked it up. It's way too thick. It clogged. It hardened. I don't think I can actually use this pen anymore. Like, it doesn't shake. The material inside of it was so thick, and, like, it wouldn't close properly, and the air has, like, hermetically sealed it shut. Like, listen to this. That's the, like, metal, like, mixing shit in there, right? This? Nothing. Very nurgly. That's Death Guard Green, baby! Actually, I can do a little bit more. Let's see, just one more coppery section of tubes up here. Yeah, this will be good. See, this copper does come out a little bit gold, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm putting it underneath, like, a yellow base coat there. But, like... Not quite sure how I want to go about this. Because, like, I was kind of unsure as to what I wanted to do vis-a-vis, like, the cabling. Like, I didn't want... See, the yellow cables I'm kind of in two minds about. Because, like, I think they distract too much attention, maybe? Like, they're a little bit too bold, while, like, the collar is a little bit too muted. And I think going from, like, big and bright to, like, muted collar... I don't know. Add a little red, maybe. Got any verdigris paint? I want to see that old weather down so we're not actual gold. I do have... So I do have, like, the Citadel verdigris paint that I did try to use once. And in fact, do I have it lying around? I can show this because I hate him, but let's see if I got him around. There we go. Got some more Chaos guys here, but... Oof. So, like, here is one of my, like, actual Chaos Marines. Classic guy there. Love him to pieces. Bada bada boom. Originally, like, one of the concepts that I had for my Chaos Space Marines before I, like, really locked in on just regular Black Legion is I wanted to kind of make it look like the Chaos Marines were, like, old and, like, rusted and shit like that. So this was really me, like, testing out with verdigris and, like, rust paint and things like that. It's definitely too much, and it's definitely too blue. But, like, you know what? I kind of, like... I think the idea of, like, a rusted, like, ancient Chaos Space Marine is, like, a cool idea that I would like to see done at some point, but, like, the way that I did it was I basically just, like, covered him in, like, rust and verdigris tip to toe, so I lose a lot of the details, like the bullets in his gun, completely gone, like, you know, the eye sockets, all the, like, little details around his body, like, they're just completely invisible, so... I do kind of regret that. I will probably end up, like, melting this guy down at some point and starting him again. He looks a little bit dusty, and that's the yeah, it's true. He does, but he actually, like, some of my models aren't pretty dusty, but he isn't. But it's just the, like, verdigris and the rust paint that I use. I really just, like, slathered him up with it. And it was a good test. I think I learned a lot about how these paints work, but yeah, it feels like I spent a lot of time, like, doing the trimming and doing the, like... Why was that the hand motion? I was doing all the, like, colors and, like, the shading around all of his body, and then I just, like, sheeted over that with, like, rust and verdigris, and it's like, well, all that work that I put in there, like, kind of isn't visible anymore, so... you live, you learn, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, you need to keep it off wide open areas. It's true. I don't know why, but, like, I always have this reaction of, like, when I sort of sit there and go, like, you know what, this wasn't my best work. Like, I feel like this isn't the best thing that I've done, and there are problems with it that I wouldn't do again. As soon as someone goes, like, yeah, I think that's correct, I don't think it's your best work, immediately I'm like, you take that back. Only I am allowed to be mean to me. Where the fuck did my Weirdboy go? There he is. What army should I start next? Tyranids, next question. Alright, I think for this Weirdboy here, I think the rest of the details that he has left to do are a little bit, like, fiddly, and, like, there's a lot of details there that I'm probably going to need to get the specs out for, which are, of course... Hold on. If you ever wondered whether or not I was cool, rest assured, I am. These things are so stupid, but they help a lot, actually, and I very much enjoy them. But I think for the most part, that's going to be an off-camera sort of thing. So I think for now, yeah, like, I'm definitely going to need to do another layer on, like, the base, which is really hard to show off on stream. I'm gonna need to like clean up his toes, which is gonna be really hard to show off on stream without being weird. And just a lot of like cleaning up that I'm gonna do on him. So I think for now, I'm just going to probably call it there for the night. Maybe call it a little bit earlier today. 2 hours, 43 minutes. I'm gonna take a chill. I'm gonna end this one up for now. Toes, you say. This is exactly what I'm afraid of. Anyway, I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I will be back on Sunday. I think my schedule going forward is in the PST time zone. I'm going probably like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, I think is going to be a schedule that works for me. So, yeah. I'm going to try my best to keep to that. And I will be back painting more guys, playing some more games, just being fucking weird, man. I'm fucking crazy. I'm great! I tried to do it. I thought about doing a funny, loud YouTube scream, but I just... my voice isn't up for that tonight. I'll see you soon.